All right, welcome to episode 2 of our summer shorts. Ryan Fulford, A.D. Drew here. And today's summer short, a little bit different than the sports-related topics that we usually get into. As you can see by the title, if you're watching it real quick, this is called Stories That Read Like Fake News But Are Real. You know, every now and then we come across these weird stories, Drew, that really throw us for a loop. Because they
Yeah,
just
this time we
they
had
just
to
read
step
like
outside of our comfort zone of HBCU sports for these stories right here.
yeah, they just read like unbelievable. Like I can't believe that really just happened. Like that really happened. Like, you know. So anyway, who wants to go first? You or me?
Uh, how about you read the stories and I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in on them.
All right. I gotta read both of them. Okay. All right, we got two stories for you. I don't know if I have to look for that second
I,
one. Send
I'll
me that
take the second one.
email.
I'll take the second one. Then
Okay.
you get the
All right,
first one.
and I'll comment on it. All right, here's the first one. Dateline Fort Worth, Texas. A Texas woman has been charged with abuse of a corpse for a 2020 incident in which she allegedly threw the ashes of her boyfriend's late mother into a lake. Augustine Gladney, Augustine Gladney, age 40, of Fort Worth, was arrested last month in May after she reportedly admitted her actions to her boyfriend, Ernest Smith. Smith, who's 38, told police that back in June of 2020, that's 2 years ago, he returned home one night to find that the urn containing his mother's cremated remains was missing. Smith told investigators he and Gladney were dating at the time, but were not on good terms. Fast forward to May of 2022, when Smith told authorities he overheard a phone conversation between Gladney and her daughter, who was at their home at the time. In the phone call, Gladney allegedly told her daughter she had thrown the urn full of ashes into Lake Worth, a reservoir and recreation area in the city. Smith told police he was unable to reach Gladney until nearly midnight Monday night. It was apparently around that time that she texted him, admitting that she had thrown his mother's ashes into the water. That B. The alleged crime made headlines, but appears to have resurfaced after a TikTok video went viral on social media. The video caption said, quote, "He cheated, so I threw his mom ashes in river." Shows a woman dumping an urn full of ashes off the side of a bridge. That horrible woman. Uh Jesus. Several people have stated that the woman in the video is Gladney, but other social media users have identified the woman as a comedian performing a skit. Ha ha. Yes, that's funny. Not BET
No, it's not.
reported. Yeah, BET reported that law enforcement officials have not confirmed whether the video is authentic or not. I would think you can look at the urn, A, and determine if it's authentic. B, you can look at the location of where she's throwing the urn
Ashes.
or the
The
ashes
ashes.
into the river and say, is that somewhere on Lake Worth? Those two things would seem to incriminate Miss Gladney if I were looking at it. So, Drew, reading an article, I was aghast. I was like, now I know why my mother never wanted to be cremated. She was like, nope, I want to be alive when I go into wherever y'all gonna put me. I don't even want to go in the dirt. My mama said, no, you got to put me in a. I don't want to
A
go in the
vault.
ground. So
A vault.
yes, one of those mausoleums or whatever. Yes, a mausoleum. My mama wouldn't even be cremated. So, but it got me to thinking, Drew, what are some of the worst things that a woman could do to a man? And we have seen women do things to men, probably rightfully so. Maybe brothers, y'all, some of y'all, white, black, whoever, y'all probably deserve this. But when you rank throwing your mother's ashes, you can't get those back, Drew. It's not like you can't get that back. As I watched that video, I just kept thinking that she's gone. That's just dust, dust in the
That's
wind.
it.
What was that
That's it.
guy who said
Ashes to ashes and
dust,
dust to dust.
dust in the wind? All we are dust in the wind. That's all I kept thinking about as I watched that. So here's my list of the worst things that a woman can do to a man, Drew, and I'd like for you to give your opinion. Let me see what I wrote here. Okay. I don't know if I should do this in A. Let me see. How many do I have here? A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 things for you here, Drew. This is a tough one here. Now,
Okay.
don't incriminate yourself here on any of these, Drew. I'd like for you to maintain your dignity. So please don't. I'm just giving you a heads up. Do not incriminate yourself. A, burn your house, a la Left Eye of Andre Rison. B, slash tires or key your car. C, throw clothes out the window, a la what Beyonce did in the video. Throw the clothes out. What is that? Throw your window. I can't hear your audio. I can't hear your audio. Throw your window out in the car. D, Lorena Bobbitt. I think that's all I got to say on that one. Lorena Bobbitt. E, stabbing. Like you get shanked. That'd be rough. And then the last one, tossing your mother's ashes over a bridge. So among the 6 things there, what are the? I mean, obviously, short of death, what are what? How would you rank 1, 2, 3 worst things a woman can do to a man?
Bryan, mic check.
I got you.
Okay. Just thinking about some of those. There's a couple that I want to add to that list.
Adding.
The blue,
Okay, that's
yeah,
scary.
add this. The blue can trail. You remember the song back in the early 2000s? I'll bust the windows out your car.
Yeah, I would include that along with any type of vehicle damage,
No,
slashing tires.
slashing the tires is different than busting the windows out the car.
Okay, so that's entirely separate, huh?
That's
Motor
a
vehicle,
separate one.
but I would qualify all that as motor vehicle assault.
Okay. Did you get into physical things such as stabbing or shooting or something like that?
I,
We've got to put
I
it
put
on the list.
I put stabbing. I guess shooting. Okay.
I got one that would go on the list. Sleeping with a close friend or relative for revenge.
Oh, that's scandalous. Okay. So among all those things, what's the worst thing that a woman can do to a man?
Obviously, Lorena Bobbitt is number one. That
Yeah.
has to be number one. You can take my manhood, but don't take my manhood.
Well, she took his manhood. Yeah,
She
that
took
I'd
his
say that's number
manhood.
one.
That's
Yeah,
definitely number one.
tossed it in the street somewhere.
We just gonna do a top three. We're gonna do a top three.
Yes,
So
please. A visual.
uh obviously Lorena Bobbitt is one. Um that would have to be number two for me. The ashes would be number two because of the sentimental value of the ashes. And number three would have to be the left eye because I'm pretty sure inside that house you can replace both states, but there are certain things. If your house was to burn down right now, Brian, there are just certain things you cannot replace. So
Yeah,
that would that
I agree.
and having had a house fire, not due to a woman, everybody, but having had a house fire, there were certain things that I could not replace after that house fire. It's been almost 10 years ago since I've had that.
Yeah, that's a good 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with your 1, 2, 3. Because I was thinking about, what are the things that take the longest to replace or repair? And I think
One you
those are the
cannot.
three things. Huh?
One you cannot repair. The mob you cannot replace or repair. The
Yeah,
ashes.
it would also it would take a long time to repair your house too.
Right.
I think a lot longer than a car or some clothes, even a stab wound, which will heal. And if you make it alive out of the stab wound, well, you got to just a scar. But the other stuff, yeah, those things take a while to. Those affect your mental. Those affect your mental space a lot worse than all the other ones.
Right.
So
But
yeah,
Brian,
I'm just gonna try to live a clean life and pray that I never have to deal with any of those circumstances. My God, but yeah. Now, so it's still unknown when Miss Gladney will have to appear in court, but yeah, it can't come fast enough for this evil woman. She tossed that man's mother over the river. Shame on her. Shame on her.
yeah.
So
But
there's that.
Brian, as bad as that story was, I've got one also that when I sent this to you, you thought I was sending you a fake news link. And
Yes, I had to read it
unt-
a couple times.
until you saw and then because the original link was not via CNN that I sent you.
Yeah, it
Then when
was not.
you went and found it via CNN,
Yes,
a a reputable news source
news
who
gathering organization, right?
right who verifies, double verifies, and triple verifies things before they put it out with their name on it. All
Supposedly,
right, here we
right?
go. And this is from June 9th, 2022. Brian, that is last week. Geico. Yes, the Geico
What
as an
dateline? Where's the
insurance
city? Where's
company.
city and state? City and state.
Uh, uh, I'll give you the state from my home state of Missouri.
Oh,
And this was in Jackson County, which is Kansas City,
okay.
Missouri. Geico ordered to pay Missouri woman $5.2 million after she contracted. Here you go, folks. An STD in a car. I'm gonna say that again.
What?
$5.2 million after she contracted an STD in a car. A Missouri woman was awarded a $5.2 million in an insurance settlement from company Geico after contracting a sexually transmitted disease from her partner in his vehicle, which was insured by the company, court documents show. The Missouri Court of Appeals upheld that award this week. The woman, a Jackson resident, says she contracted human papilloma virus (HPV) from her partner, according to court documents. On Tuesday, the Missouri Court of Appeals filed an opinion confirming the initial Jackson County Circuit Court arbitration award finding against Geico. In February 21, the woman anonymously identified in the document as, ironically, initials MO. MO is Missouri, for those who don't know. Submitted a petition to Geico directly. She alleged that her sexual partner negligently caused or contributed to cause to be infected with HPV by not taking proper precautions and neglecting to inform and or disclose his diagnosis according to court documents, and that his insurance policy provided coverage for her injuries and losses. She made a final
Wow.
settlement offer of $1 million to resolve her claims, the court document said. I think they should have settled. In April 2021, Geico denied coverage and refused to settle her offer, according to the Missouri Court of Appeals filing. The case was then sent to an arbitrator. The arbitrator determined that there was sexual activity in insurance automobile that directly caused or directly contributed to cause the woman to be infected with HPV, despite her former partner's knowledge that his positive HPV diagnosis, according to the filing. The arbitrator subsequently submitted that $5.2 million would be fairly compensate the woman for damages and injuries. Geico then appealed the Jackson County Court Circuit confirmation of the arbitration award, asserting that the court didn't give Geico a meaningful opportunity to defend its interests. And it goes on and on to get into a little bit more about the claim. The panel also wrote that Geico could have defended its interests by entering a defense of the insured individual. Geico did not take advantage of this opportunity and instead denied coverage and refused to defend insured, the opinion said. Bryan, we we've lived, we've been college students, we have known things to happen in front seats and back seats of cars. We don't know who caught what, when, where, why. We don't. We know the how, but that's about it. $5.2 million for having sex in a car and catching the cooties.
So look, hey, so this sounds like the equivalent of you getting hurt. Like we get in a car, like we're driving in your car, we get in a car accident. Even though I have a seatbelt on, let's say the seatbelt is defective and I suffer damages to my, I don't know, my shoulder, chin, concussion, something, I've lost some feeling in my right hand because of your faulty seatbelt. Is that
Correct.
what this is? Is that the
Yes.
equivalent of because I'm in the car and I suffer damages in the car which you failed to prevent. Like it's like, hey Drew, you knew that the seatbelt was faulty, but you never told me the seatbelt was faulty.
Correct.
So this is amazing. This is amazing. This is, you talk about a major setback in litigation because and the bad part is Geico, Geico probably never bothered to settle or wanted to, even because they were like, if we settle this, all kinds of
We opening ourselves up.
craziness. Yeah, you opening
What? Wait.
yourself up to all kinds of.
What happened to those people who got pregnant in the backseat of the car?
Well, then you'd have to prove that you didn't want to get pregnant, or that getting pregnant was a bad thing. Because I don't think that. I think that's entirely different. But
I'm just saying. But go ahead.
here's what we're missing. Whose idea was it to sue Geico? That's the person in this whole story that should be thought of and praised, because I can't imagine it's the woman. I'm not saying that she's not possible or capable, but I mean, really? You mean you thought of that I'm going to sue Geico? I mean, really? I mean, what? Somebody brought that idea to her, most likely. I'd like to know who that was and why they did that, because that sounds unprecedented to me, Drew. I don't know.
But, Bryan, you went to the School of Business and Industry just like I did, correct?
Right. I missed that
At Florida
class.
A&M University. Did you take Rabdale's course?
Yes, the late Ravenel. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what did attorney William Bill Rabdale tell you? You sue everybody, and then the one with the money, that's who you go after. Obviously, someone in her team took Rabdale's course.
Oh
They
my
took
gosh.
Rabdale's course, and that's my best turn Rabdale that I could do. But and
Sue
this is a
everybody.
follow-up article. This was the original article that I found on 2Fab. I don't even know what this website is, but this is where I first saw this article was. They were in a 2014 Hyundai Genesis.
Sounds like
The
a
tie
small
race.
car.
No, Genesis is the larger of the Hyundais.
Oh, it is?
That's a
Okay.
full
All right.
size. That's a full
Oh
size.
gosh. All right.
Okay. The tie race began in 2017. Okay, I'm trying to find. So this was some stuff that was not brought out in the CNN article. Uh, okay, when the company investigated, MB, that's the guy, insisted he had told his partner about his condition on at least 3 different occasions, and that they had sex in locations. And of course, my thing just jumped. Oh, they had sex in locations other than the car, and that she had sexual partners other than him in the relevant time period. Geico insisted there was no coverage as the damages claim did not arise out of, here we go, Brian, the normal use of the vehicle.
Right. Yeah, I don't think the vehicle was supposed to be intended for those purposes. Wow, man. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Well, so congratulations to MO
Yes,
for winning
these are
5
real.
point.
That story was on CNN.com.
What was the total number again? 5 point what?
$5.2 million.
Yeah, congratulations, MO. You have set back the legal system for years for that story. And yeah, shame on you, Augustine Gladney, for tossing that man's for stealing those ashes for probably 2 years, allegedly, and then allegedly tossing them over the river. Excuse me, over the bridge into the river, allegedly. Shameful, man. All right, let's pick up this newspaper, close it up, and go home because I feel real dirty after those 2 stories, and I'm gonna go take a shower now. I need a
but make
shower.
sure you make sure you put a condom on if you're gonna be doing anything while you're taking that shower.
Jesus. Yes, Geico can't cover me in the shower though, Drew. So that's the bad part.
Unless you
I
got
can.
homeowners insurance.
I got renter's insurance. Stop it. Let's get out of here. Holy cow. All
Let's
right,
pick up
that's
this
gonna
show and
do
get
it.
out of here, y'all.
Yeah, pick up this show. Oh man, thanks for listening to another summer short. We'll have another episode for you tomorrow. Peace out.
I holla.